Oh man, I don't know.
But anyways, bro, let's fucking start this shit.
Fuck that.
It's funny.
Fuck that.
It's
We're
funny.
gonna
That's
get.
just funny.
I
That's
ain't getting
just
sucked into that fucking rabbit hole again.
funny.
You'll be back.
Don't get sucked into it, man.
Why did you have to say it like that? So he got close
Yeah,
on the
bro.
mic.
I just don't want him to get sucked into anything.
No, Braga's gonna make like that intro for the
Got hella
analysis
close to the
where
mic,
some
like-
sus thing is said.
Oh yeah,
And they just suck
yeah.
you.
Do it,
Then we
man.
transition right into the intro.
That shit
That's
was
right.
too close to the goddamn mic. This nigga Brago.
The reverie begins. No, wait, that's the wrong chapter.
Hey,
What?
hey, bro, how do y'all be getting the Viz translations? Like, where?
Yeah, so,
Dog, I
Brago
used to get him
made that
from
shit.
I used to get him from Grimm's Discord because he had a channel where he posted all of them, but he locked the channel and kicked me out because I wasn't subscribed to his. fucking-
wow.
I just have the viz.
Nigga, you
I
said
got
you
some
get
kind
a
of
Yu-Gi-Oh
dragon
card?
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some kind of dragon and some
I
kind
did
of
as well,
sorceress,
yeah.
the last two ones.
Yeah.
That dragon one looks fire,
It
but I
looked
haven't
fire.
played Yu-Gi-Oh in so long,
It
so I
looked
have no
fire.
idea.
I got a win Karibo last
He
year.
said it looks fire.
Shit look fire. I don't know what to do though. I think there's the last chapter of the reverie.
Bruh, why you trolling Matt with this reverie shit?
What? Oh, no, you know, bro, literally, it was like coincidence.
Wait, what reverie shit?
Never mind.
Oh, shit.
I keep talking about like the fucking last chapter was the fucking like reverie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait for those videos. I ain't gonna...
Well, it's so look. No. I'm gonna give y'all niggas an insight.
Wait, how long is his backstory?
No,
Word.
it's not long at all. I'm doing the whole Cake Island. I'm doing the whole Cake Island stream on the 27th to the 28th of October, and then the Reverie video is gonna come out.
We said 27th to the 28th? How long is this stream gonna be?
No. I said the 27th.
It's a 48 hours.
You stop trolling,
I said
bro.
that-
Oh my god.
I said the 27th.
I swear I heard 27th to the 28th. I'm like, how many niggas he gonna have?
No, the 27th to the 28th, or the 27th.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we started at like 11.
I'm trying to figure out why you got Kodak Black.
That shit's fucking
And, like,
hilarious, bro.
Like
With a draw looking like Luffy.
Yeah, Luffy.
Kodak Luffy.
Okay, that's the thing is that was one of my favorite memes because like the fucking when they did like the microwave meme or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in that Instagram
Yeah.
live. Like, he just, he's just staring at his
So
chat.
it was like when you waiting for your shit to get out the microwave, and then at the end he like licks his
No,
lips.
that's it. You saw the one was like 920 for love of Odin. That was the name of the chapter.
Oh, that's actually way different than Jiminy's.
What did Gemini's box have? They look
I
different.
love Odin.
It says for the love of Odin.
Yeah, it's like a fucking like a play on words, like for the love of God, for the love of Odin, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the cover page?
It's halfway
Trash.
right.
It's
Halfway right.
halfway right. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Quietly has shown his true green colors after joining Twitter today, because
Bro, this nigga tweeted like 20 times today. I was like, this
right.
nigga-
He went ham, but no, like 15 times was Zoro. It was Zoro related. I was like, damn,
That's some
Quietly.
real shit, dog. That's some real shit.
No, like I feel like people cared so much more about this than the entire Grand Fleet cover story.
Yes, I fucked with this cover story. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I don't give a fuck about cover stories.
Really?
Damn.
I mean, unless it
It ties into the actual story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually get down with that because I mean, like they're cool things, like they tie into the story, but they're not like groundbreaking usually, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, some people like them, whatever. Like fucking like, oh, Brago, do you see the cover story? Nami's tits look wonderful.
I mean, I agree, but the thing is, some people are so immersed in One Piece, every single like small
No, I
thing
get
about
that.
it, they
Yeah.
go, especially with a cover page like this, the Sanji and Zoro fandom. Come on, like this is.
No, I gotta feel like that's gotta be some subtle hint because like as a result of this chapter, people are hardcore standing the Zoro versus Luffy shit over
Yeah.
Sanji. You know,
Wait, what do you mean? Really?
Yeah, no, JB's been pushing this for like it's been like a year now. or
Zoro
something like
versus
that.
Luffy as far as like a fight?
Yeah. No, it's like Zoro leaving the crew kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, he did say that in his
Yeah.
last video. Like,
Because
he,
a lot of
theory
people
was
actually
decent.
believe in this because of the whole what Zoro did during Eni's lobby. You know, afterwards with the speech about Usopp.
I don't think so though.
I mean, any slobby.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
I don't know. We would have to. It wouldn't make sense.
it would have to
at
be
this
more
point,
extreme.
like,
It would have to be,
yeah, there would have to be something else that came in,
and he would have to witness it.
Yeah.
I think. I think.
Yeah,
he-
for me,
something
like,
else would have had to happen.
personally, I would like that because it would be kind of like emotional, and that's what I like. But I don't think it's the most practical thing that's going to happen.
If
Right
Zoro
now, I just
left
feel
the
a little more,
crew,
you know?
I would like that as well because it'd be like a fucking
Yep.
whoa. It'd be like a whirlwind, right?
Yeah,
But
Plus, like,
whew, that'd be
If
intense.
Zoro leaves the crew,
It
the
made-
crew is
well, people are
automatic.
it
like,
made sense in Eni's lobby, right? Because there wasn't really like, even though there was a plot to the story, obviously, like, it wasn't like that like important of a plot. Like, it was like really more setup than anything else, to the point where like it made sense why he left the crew.
Yeah.
yeah.
it's
It's
like
like
he
the
could
weird
leave-
thing with this is like this is obviously going to be a large scale war about taking down a
Yeah,
Yonko.
you can't
If
have-
Zoro left the crew now, it'd be
Yeah, it just doesn't
Yeah,
make
it wouldn't
sense
make
right
sense.
now.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, but
it-
the reason people are arguing for it is one because of Sanji's behavior, but two because Oda is obviously not having Zoro meet Sanji yet. You know, he was separated from the crew for a reason. Now, whether or not that's a reason that's related to Sanji or not, people are going to think about it anyway, right?
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would have made more sense if Zoro had left before, like, left Onzo. If Luffy was like, no, I'm still gonna go after Sanji, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? If he had
Well,
left
you see, like-
then it's like, then he
Yeah.
comes back for Wano. That'd make more
Well,
sense.
my biggest criteria is that and this is something that doesn't usually happen in One Piece. Is the characters don't talk about the things that happen to
At
them,
all.
right? So no, at no point in time when like the people are separated is there like a sit down and focus chapter. It's like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
You know,
Man, that doesn't
not
happen.
many of the characters know each other's backstories unless they learned it from someone else. You know, Luffy came in and joked about like Big Mom's size and stuff, but I'm not
Nothing
expecting
came
Luffy
from
to
it.
be like,
Yeah.
hey, you won't believe the things that Sanji did. The only way I can actually see it happening is if someone squeals, and the only person I think that would do that is Chopper, because Chopper's like, you know, innocent and retarded like that. He'd be like, oh, Luffy and Sanji fought.
Well-
and Zoro would be like,
If Oda continues the the Nami thing as far as her having like an attitude with Sanji, cause like she did on Whole Cake, where like that comes up, it's like, yo, what's going on there? But it's never gonna go that deep. You feel me? It's never gonna go
Yeah,
that deep.
another thing
where it's
is like, say Luffy and Sanji fight or whatever. Why the fuck? That wouldn't make Zoro leave. That would just make Zoro mad at Sanji or something. Unless something happened from
no.
that. I don't know.
I mean, have you heard the arguments about it, Froob?
Yeah, I mean, I know the
it's
general
when Zoro
argument,
said, when Zoro said, if you like get disrespected again, then I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
in the
if you let
crew.
anyone walk over you again and like disrespect
Yeah.
the captain,
He
then
kind of let Sanji shit on him.
Sanji literally,
Yeah.
literally skywalked on his ass.
yeah, and there was no requirement for Sanji to come, like, you know, Luffy didn't lay down the law of a captain, at least from the perspective of what you would imagine Zoro would be thinking.
So hypothetically, if he leaves the crew, what do you think he goes from there?
I think
I mean, to be
he'd
honest, I
be
feel like it would be an
wandering.
exact replica of what happened to Usopp. He would probably go be important at some other facet of the arc, maybe meet some samurai, learn some stuff.
Right, and come back at the end just to kind of
Yeah,
save the
Yeah,
day.
the
Yeah.
only possible way I could see that would be fuck, because like maybe like he could get into some weird shit with Weevil or something like that, maybe, or I don't know. Like, I don't
Could
know.
a story ever do this in which you have like somebody with the main crew or main cast for a while,
Snickers, shut up.
and then actually, and then you leave the crew, and this person comes back as like an adversary, like this deep into the story?
I don't know.
Not this deep, I don't think.
Would the fandom be mad at that?
If it was like
could-
Sanji
I
and
would-
Zoro, I would.
I
be.
would, because I'm not trying to see Luffy get his ass cut in half.
Come
so.
on, bro. Come on, dog.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go like full Dustin and just say it's gonna be trash no matter what,
Yeah.
no matter how it's explained. But like, I definitely think that like I don't want that to happen, but it could be done well.
Would you but
What
the
else?
thing is, would you understand Zoro's perspective if he left? Like, you fuck around too much.
Nah, there would have to be more to it than that. Like, if it was simply just a thing to where like, oh, you let Sanji walk all over you, blah 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 blah, I wouldn't get that. But like, if there was like something else on top
It'd
of
have
that,
to be something else, like happened.
I feel like it would have to be really personal.
Right, happened.
Or
Something with the sword,
I'll
with
argue
swords.
this.
Something with swords.
So actually, I'm glad you brought that up because this is something that I think might happen as opposed to the Luffy versus Zoro thing. Is that, you know, cursed swords in the series haven't really done anything whatsoever, and we just learned about in the chapter about Nidaika. I mean, not Nidaika, Ashura Doji, right?
yeah.
So it's and Zoro, when he separated and went to the wharf or whatever, it was at the exact same point in the story where Kinemon was talking about Ashura Doji. So I feel like it's probably about time that Zoro learns more about the swords. And maybe the curse
I
effect.
actually
And
agree
if
with
I
that.
think that
would
would
be
make a
good too.
plot line around
Yeah.
like Zoro like wilding out on like some things that maybe that is out of character, the curse could probably be a reason to justify that. You know, Zoro's acting weird. Why is he acting so weird? He does something weird in the moment, like I'm leaving the crew, screw you guys, but it was kind of like the curse thing affecting him. You know?
Another interesting thing that would evolve from that too would be that like okay, and so like in Water 7, like Usopp had like some like really epic moments, and like if Zoro ended up leaving the crew and coming back, he would have some like, it would be like amazing moments like the story.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I feel like it's a really good idea and it's something that I would personally like. I'm just not confident on it happening, you know?
Yeah, I don't see it because I don't know. I feel like there would have to be more foreshadowing into it because
I don't know.
if when
Do you think so?
Luffy met Zoro for the first time and Wano, like Zoro had some foreshadowing towards that, I would see it. But it doesn't seem like Zoro feels any type of way about anything like that.
No.
Like, it just
Well, we
seems
haven't
like
really
he's
talked about
genuinely
anything,
happy.
right?
Yeah, like when
Yeah, but it just seemed like he was genuinely happy to see him.
When
Well, would he
Luffy
be-
was saying
why
like,
would he be
"Oh,
mad,
Big
though?
Mom is like really big," like he didn't even ask about anything.
Like, oh,
I
Luffy,
don't
how
think
is
it's gonna
that?
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, standing aside though, I don't think that Zoro's actually gonna leave the crew. I think if we want him leaving the crew, that's kind of what we got now with him getting lost. I don't think he like kind of leaves officially. Like I'm done with the Straw Hats
Nah,
because
that's not
Luffy
happening.
was like, because if you respect Luffy as a captain, respect his wishes. I mean, Sanji did apologize to Luffy. At one point, he did actually, apologize. So
Yeah, because
and
like
he
The
wasn't
most I
even
see
there
Zoro
for it.
doing is
you
just
gotta
like
remember,
checking Sanji.
if Zoro left the crew, it would have to be on some crazy shit. Like Luffy did some dumb shit to the point where like it got like Chopper hurt or something like that. You know, just
I
like
mean,
some weird
yeah, 'cause
shit.
I
Like
don't think so.
Zoro
No, because
has
you gotta-
already said that he put his ambitions aside for Luffy.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like if
He put his
the
life
one thing
on
he
the
said was
line.
like, "If I'll kill you if you get in the way of my ambition," and he put that shit to the side for him. So it has to be something big.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of picture it without something like enormous going down. All right, from the cover page, let's get to the chapter, and chapter's kind of crazy. We got
Kinda.
some kind of crazy. We got some information about Odin. You know, what do you guys think about Odin's backstory as far as him being a savage?
Yeah, I think it was actually quite interesting that he's he was like deemed as like I guess a strong like character.
Yeah.
Like because when we heard about him traveling with Roger, I just assumed that he was like
Tag along.
just kind of tag along
Yeah.
and
Right.
just read poneglyphs.
Agreed. Yeah.
So like to hear that he was that nigga and he was just like running shit, like I fucks with it.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. We probably should have assumed that because he was with Roger's crew and everything, but we didn't.
I mean, I just thought it was like, I didn't expect everybody on Roger's crew to be fucking impressive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, look at Buggy. You know? But
Right.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I also assumed that Odin. Well, yeah, didn't it say Odin was a cabin boy?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. No. Okay, it was said the two dukes for the
the Dukes.
cabin. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for me, Odin seems to be following like an archetype that Oda really likes to do in the story, and that's like kind of along the lines of Fisher Tiger, Noland, and Roger, where all of these characters have something really similar in common, where they're usually kind of entrepreneurs of their era. They go into an area that isn't like well populated or has its own problems. They go conquer it and then make friends there. Something bad happens to them, they get betrayed or something, and then they die. And then their wishes, they get passed on to someone else.
Otohime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of in a way.
Yeah. I mean,
That and Jinbei and
yeah.
whatnot.
I do think it is like the basic. I always thought it was like kind of the basic One Piece kind of guy because he went into a lawless area. He was strongest. He conquered it. It's the same thing kind of like what the Yonko did because they was talking about how Whitebeard was thrilled with him and Roger. Where like being a Yonko, you go into like the lawless territory, you make it your own, and then you kind of protect the people like that's under your kind of flag. So he kind of just did that in his own country, basically.
I mean, what's interesting is that after fucking going through that with his dad, he went, or the thing with his dad, it seemed like his dad was kind of overlooking that part of the country, right?
Yeah.
Where that could have been the reason behind the conflict, in a way.
I think that could have been his reason going there. That does make sense that maybe if he saw like this is supposed to be my country, and then this is a part where like nobody kind of cares about the people. If I get in trouble, I know, like, see, I just don't know if he was masterminding it that far because he could have just been like some kind of rough kind of guy
Yeah.
that's too
Mhm.
rough to be in the capital.
The thing is about Wano is right is that it's supposed to be based off like a specific period in Japan, and I don't know too much about Japanese history, but I'm pretty sure like the general idea was that like Japan was like heavily separated, and like then they like all like came together under like basically like someone like conquered everything and like put it all under like the same flag. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but like that might have been the thing to where like that was like part of like the whole thing. And that might also be how Orochi's brought in.
So there's a very interesting plotline that could be connected to Odin's father, actually, because out of everyone that's been talked about in the story, we haven't heard anything about Odin's father, about what happened to him. You know, we don't know if he's dead or not. And the way it's implied, I mean, I suppose you could argue he's a good father, but from the way I interpret Oda's writing, I'm going to assume that he probably isn't the best person.
Yeah,
And
What
that's
made you
what
think that about it? I'm
what-
curious.
he left like a part of the country like lawless.
Well, there's also that, but it's also just like I'm just following like an archetype that Oda might do.
Okay.
I feel like it's possible he could be a good person because from a father perspective, you could say like, oh, Odin was rough around the corner, so he needed to learn some humility, and that's why he got banished from the capital. And he got acknowledged and made daimyo once he made something of his life. You know, do something important, then I'll care about you, kind of thing. That's possible. But for the sake of an interesting story, there's another possibility where it's like Luffy said something along the lines when they were listening to the story, like how cool of Orochi, that's a dirty trick. You know, what trick did he play?
Yeah, exactly.
For
That's what I
Odin
was,
to be assassinated and Orochi to not be the shogun at the time, that means someone else might have orchestrated or imposed the assassination.
yeah, it was definitely
so-
implied that there was some sort of
Oh,
betrayal
yeah.
that happened.
Yes, and so generally in this archetype of succession, you get betrayed by someone. Something happens, you get betrayed sometimes by your own family. It could be that this ruler, if the shogun wasn't the primary person that Orochi was fearful of and it was Odin, that he might have been a weak ruler and easily manipulated.
Okay.
So
yeah, and then he probably like
yeah, he could have
probably
been
basically
orchestrated
convinced
in
the
death
dad.
of Odin. Like, you know, oh,
Yeah.
you do like a felony or something. Boom, you come to the capital, I have to kill you, kind of thing. And Orochi was behind it all. Because he could still be alive technically, depending on how old the father is. Like he could have been like someone that was like, you know, fearful of his life. He did it, and like he just
Yeah, I don't know.
Orochi
Well,
because he
there's
didn't
got to
wanna
be
die.
there's got to be more to it than that, specifically because he should have, yeah, because that's another thing, right? Because he should have died along with everyone else in the flashback, right? He wasn't mentioned as like part of the people that were like fighting off Kaido's forces or anything. The people that died.
And you would
No, that's
imagine
why-
that
that's
if
why I
the
think this
actual
can be
shogun of
right.
the country died, that would have been a big deal. But the biggest deal was Odin. So why is
Yeah.
that important? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely specifically didn't put in the middle part of the story. So
Right.
there's definitely gonna be some important shit about that.
Absolutely. I expect just the same with Nolan and Fisher Tiger that we're probably going to get a full flashback because both with Fisher Tiger and Nolan, we found out basically what they did and then we learned the details later.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume we get a flashback as well. We jumped to, like you said, we mentioned Zoro getting lost earlier. You were saying there's more behind it. Sanji is the reason who could play a role there. That's why he got
Snickers.
lost.
Shut up.
Snickers.
Do you hear her?
Fucking
A
feed it,
little
dog.
bit.
We can hear it a little bit, but
All right. So if it's not so bad, then it's not so bad. That's great. She doesn't shut up.
I only hear it.
Nah,
I only
I
hear
feel
it when
bad.
you say something. Honestly.
yeah,
I didn't
that's
want
what I'm
to
talking.
say something.
But yeah, Zoro got lost, and people are saying that this could be Zoro kind of getting caught here. You know, Zoro's been captured before in One Piece arcs, and then Zoro gets captured, and it could turn into Zoro retrieval.
Oh, I hope not.
I
Not
hope
even just because it's Zoro, and it's like, oh, I don't want to see it. I just don't want another retrieval arc. And I feel like he's like a
Same.
strong force here for the main forces.
They did that.
Like, I just don't want
what,
to see another straw
I
hat
don't
get
That was-
captured.
arcs, but I would want a retrieval arc to kind of be like the situation that leads up to it to be a little bit more serious than Zoro
Than passing
randomly
time.
wanders off
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Kaido's territory, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean-
Zoro, what did you do? It kind of has to be more serious than that.
I mean,
You
there's
know?
a lot of things that like go into this whole thing, right? Because one, you have to understand that he's going to a wharf, which is pretty much like a dock type thing, and like so pretty much, yeah. He said at the thing, I'm gonna catch a ride, so he's gonna go on a boat to somewhere, So like, where is he gonna go? Like,
It
how's
seems
that
like
gonna
it's
fit
toward
into
the
plot?
factories.
Right,
I'm low
exactly.
key hoping that he doesn't go to like that main Kaido Island. Like I don't want him. I don't want Zoro to go up against Kaido and get washed.
No,
No,
I don't think it's possible
No.
for the residents to actually go to Kaido's island. I don't
Yeah, I don't
think
think
Oh,
so.
okay.
I think he may run into another headliner, more than likely.
I would
It's-
like
it's
that.
possibly
Another
that
headline
or-
or a calamity.
He might go against like, or he might run into like one of
A Drake or something.
Orochi's like top men.
But that's another thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
say he goes to
yeah.
the factory, right?
Mhm.
How does that advance the plot in any way, shape, or form?
Unless he gets captured, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it could give us information on the factories,
we
but
can get like
But no, if at the factories, like there's one of Orochi's top guys, like how we had like Kyoshiro, I think that was his name.
Yeah,
He was like at
yeah,
the cash house or
yeah,
the money house.
yeah.
So at a factory, there might be a top
Fe-
Orochi guy. Zoro, we learn about the factories. Zoro defeats him, and then that kind of causes a little bit of uproar.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
Luffy's gonna
we
stay
already
put and not
kinda-
cause trouble.
we
Zoro
already
has to.
kind of got like the breakdown and organization of like the headliners and the calamities. Like we don't know like the breakdown of like Orochi's like forces.
Yeah, I would think.
There
I would
could
think
be a way to
somebody.
introduce like more world building on that
I would-
like end.
For some reason, I think the strong person at the factory is going to be a female. Just for some reason.
that would be interesting.
you're hoping beyond.
That'd be
would be-
like great for once.
Yeah, but Zoro's going to overwhelm her.
Of course,
Regret,
watch is
yeah.
gonna be Karina.
No. Nah, she's the Shogun's protector, like bodyguard. She's his.
Oh, bet.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Nah,
but
she's
how
the
far have you
Shogun,
guys been so
man.
far?
Nah, she's not the Shogun. I ain't gonna go that far. She's not the Shogun.
It's like it is I, the stare no me.
How far are you
Stop
guys
it,
so
bro.
far?
We talking
We're like
about Zoro
third
getting
day.
lost.
Yeah.
Have anyone mentioned the idea of the theories? What could happen?
Well, that's pretty much what we're
Now,
talking
in the
about
middle
right
of
now.
it.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead.
Okay. Have you guys talked about all your stuff?
Yeah, we
Go
got.
ahead,
Yeah,
Doug.
we're about to. Yeah, go ahead.
So
Lando.
we essentially have three outcomes that we've at least entertained the possibility. One is the Luffy versus Zoro because of Sanji stuff. Two is cursed sword route of any origin, and three is him getting in trouble with Kaido's people or Orochi's people.
Just all centered around where Zoro could possibly go, or just the entire plot itself?
Well, just Zoro's plot.
Yeah.
Because I have an idea where it could actually go.
Yeah. What do you think is gonna happen?
It was stated that Cory was around this era when Odin was around, right?
Yeah.
It could be possible that the environment changes and that era moved somewhere else. It might be possible Ashwa Dojo didn't really conform to Odin wishes and didn't become like an environment guy and move somewhere else. I think an environment where Zoro is constantly fighting lawless people could be the training that he needs to go forward. So I think he's going to that place, if that place exists.
So you're
I
saying
feel like that kind of falls into the cursed
Oh, I
sword
see what you're
territory.
saying.
Not necessarily, because
Well, yeah, you said Ashura Doji. What does that remind you of?
yeah, but he's well in the Viz, he's called a demon child, but that could just be epithet. It doesn't have to necessarily mean demon cursed swords.
yeah, the Viz says Ashura Doji, the demon child.
I mean, it's quite possible that he's demon, but it's not.
That is actually so fucking interesting because I never really knew what much to think about this theory, but there's a theory that Zoro is actually a demon,
Yeah.
and yeah, because like the first time we ever meet him, I think it's Kobe that says something like this. I don't remember. There was like some things
yeah,
in
it
his
described to be a
introduction.
demon, but it's
Yeah,
not his
about him being like
personality.
a demon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's just always like a lot of his stuff had to do with demons and stuff like that. So that's just
So
interesting.
connection between Ashura
Dojo.
Doji and
Doji or
Akuma
Dojo,
and
whatever.
Akuma no Ko,
Who's that?
the devil child.
Oh, okay.
Any connection?
I don't know.
Uh,
All right.
Wait, who? What?
Akuma no Ko, the
Welcome
What was that
King.
stated?
the devil child.
What is that, the moniker?
Yeah, Nico Robin.
Oh,
Wait, you
That's what you're talking
remember that in Japanese? Couldn't you just not say demon child?
I was gonna be honest. Like, I had no idea what you were.
I didn't know what was going on.
Let me
I was like,
bro.
oh,
What-
shit,
what-
let me go
what
ahead and
is
look this up.
Nah. That I don't think it has anything to do with Robin. If that's what you're playing,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're trolling.
Since I haven't been around where you guys talked about Odin, I probably want to say this anyway. About Odin backstory. Not
go
to be dismissive, but the only important part of his backstory that we got so far, even though it was short, was about his dad. If it
Hmm.
turns out that Orochi actually did something to gain some form of control over Wano, it could be a separate plotline that could be more interesting than anything we've gotten so far.
Well, yeah, I mean
And if
the
you
whole
guys speak
plotline
about
around
that before.
Orochi. Yeah, we spoke a little
Yeah, I
bit about
think
it.
you
Like,
kind of
Orochi-
echoed our
okay.
sentiments with that one.
I also I wonder like how strong is Orochi relative, or not Orochi? How strong was Odin relative to like
Kaido or the Shogun?
like the Minks, the Duke and
Right now,
Well,
Yeah.
if you look during the flashback, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi were children.
yeah.
right. Well, I'm talking about as far as like their strength right now.
Well, the strength right now, I mean, both combined could beat Jack, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, using the moon or without the moon?
I think they could be stronger than
With the
Jack.
moon.
I think they would have probably.
Okay.
I think without the moon, they probably would have had a.
I don't think they beat him without
They
the
would
moon.
have fought them at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about at the same time they're winning?
Yeah, the same. If
Like,
they
if
both
you
fight at the
jump
same
him
time, they
without
can
the
beat
moon,
Jack.
they're winning.
If they fight alone, they can't win.
Yeah, alone they can't win.
I don't even know if they're winning with the moon alone.
No.
they have to-
I don't know.
No.
I feel like
They
with
have
the
to work
moon
together.
alone, maybe. I mean, if that Sulong did all that for Carrot, just imagine.
But what did
somebody
Carrot- I
else
mean, but-
one full
Well,
control.
Well, let's to be fair,
Yes.
Carrot didn't beat anyone.
Like
I
here's the
mean,
thing, right?
but
Like,
the
listen,
agility-
Kara didn't do anything. But the most important fact, regardless of your power scaling, is that this has to be the completion of a character arc. Like the entire point of what happened at Zoe is that cat and dog have a history.
Yeah.
They didn't work together. They could have fought together to fight Jack, but they didn't. They chose.
Oh yeah, you know it's funny. That's right.
They have been arguing for decades. That is a character arc that has to be resolved with Jack.
I think it could be resolved in which they fight Jack together and still fail.
Point as well.
Yeah, like they could start out by
Right.
fighting alone and like, man, we can't do this.
And still
We can't
fail. Yeah, and still fail.
And they have to realize that they just have to stop fighting with each other. They're good as a team when they work together.
So, what are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as who actually
now,
gets to
Drizzt-
fight Jack? Because like
I
a
think
lot
it
of
should
people
be-
think Zoro, and then like a lot of people think
I-
like Nekomamushi, and
There is no argument that I've seen and read that makes more sense than the Dukes.
The Dukes.
Zoro ones I've seen
Yeah.
are fairly faulty.
I like the Dukes
I
one.
think the Dukes make more sense
But-
that Drizzt pointed out as like a
Just-
story prop from One Piece. They started fighting as soon as Odin was
Just to-
captured. Them fighting together as like a team, like actually not like taking turns, but like together. It
Okay.
would be like a good
Let me
resolution.
let me ask you
to that.
guys this: after the Dukes, who do you think is next in line to kind of rule the Minx?
Carrot.
Oh shit! No, hell no.
It has to be.
The Musketeers.
It has to be.
Wanda?
Who else would
Wanda?
it be? It has to be Wanda, Carrot.
No, it wasn't. Dude, hold on. Wasn't there?
Wasn't it that
Sicilian,
lion guy?
Sicilian.
Yeah, Sicilian.
Yeah, the
exactly.
guy that
The main
the guy that
character.
we see in Duke's thing, like the guy in the background. I don't remember what is it Sicilian?
Sicilian. One of the
Yes,
Musketeers.
but the proteges of those people were Wanda and Pedro.
Yeah.
Those were their proteges.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, say, because I think the Dukes, honestly think they're gonna fail. I think they're gonna go Moon, whatever, and I think they're not gonna actually win. But it's gonna.
Well, I think what's going to happen, and this would make the most sense to me moving forward, is that they'll win, but it's going to come at a cost. They're not going to be able to continue being the rulers of the
Right,
Zoe.
right. In some way, that's what I'm saying. That's the ultimate outcome I see. Where it's
Yeah,
like
because they already lost 2 limbs.
Right.
If they have to defeat Jack, they're going to probably
they're going to lose a lot more, and that's why I'm saying like who's the successor
I think
for
that'd
them.
be crazy if they both go so long and they still like barely get away from Jack. That would be crazy.
Well, that's how it's had to be. Every fight's pretty close, right?
Yeah,
Well, we do know that the Sulong can kill you. Like if you stay in
if
it
you're saying it too long,
right?
yeah.
I,
maybe
I
they'll
mean,
have-
I
maybe
feel
they'll have
like
to
we
make
would
sure
get.
generation
I feel like we
those
would get
limits.
blue balled, and like
Wait, as far as seeing the entire fight,
no, as far as like as soon as we think like, or we think like like Nekomamushi and like well, we think the Minks are gonna fight like Jack, and then it'd be one thing to where they go so long and then just fight off like all the forces or something. I would be like so pissed.
I mean, I think it
I
could
don't
be a
think that's gonna
situation in which they go too long and they think it looks like they're overwhelming Jack, and then it could be another level to Jack, something else. To
Yeah,
Jack.
Yeah.
like that's the thing where we're going to see like Jack in
Yeah.
full power or something.
Yeah.
like
I
that.
don't really like the Jack versus Zoro thing
No.
because
No,
It doesn't
I mean,
make any sense.
I see.
Not
I
like-
can see.
not
I
like
can
it
see
would-
a quick engagement.
Yeah, I can see them meeting.
Yeah.
but I don't see Zoro defeating
No.
Jack in like
No.
in a plot.
I can see.
yeah, I could
yeah.
also maybe see Luffy
Luffy meeting
fighting
Jack as well, meeting him, not beating him.
I don't
Yeah,
know, maybe.
I would
mean,
agree.
the thing is I wouldn't want Zoro to fight Jack because
No,
I think it would be like not a boring fight. It would obviously be good, but it just like
it's not going to be
not what I
as
want from
entertaining.
Wano.
No, like
Yeah,
there's no plot behind it.
No.
Basically.
No.
Like as far as we know, like you'd be wasting Jack's potential on a character that has no correlation to him when you have people that have history with him.
I want to see Koyoshiro pull up on Zoro.
Yeah, I actually want that too.
I don't know, just pull up on him.
Actually, he looks
Just to
like
ride out
he looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
That guy.
What were you saying, Lando?
Yeah, another thing I was gonna say before we went on this. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well,
Lando, you
let
saying
Lando
something?
go.
What's up, Lando?
Just to ride out just earlier point about Nekomusha Inarashi fighting Jack. I always see Jack as a catalyst for them growing in some way. I never really see him as this obstacle that needs to be overcome, combative wise. So I think I agree with Drizzt. It has to be them that fights him, but it's more than a reason in terms of them gaining strength. Anything, it's just them coming together in unison to fulfill a purpose. It's a certain sense.
Wait, couldn't Law have given like Neko and Inu limbs?
We don't talk about that.
I don't know.
It's kind
Well,
of
wasn't it
armor
pretty
in a
much
sense.
implied? Wait, hold on. Didn't to put the limb back on? Didn't you need? Didn't they need Manchelli to like fucking?
No, I think it just needs
or whatever?
limbs.
Just need limbs, right?
Well, it wasn't that how Law got his arm back on.
I
He
think
needed Manchelli to stitch it back.
No, Leo stitched him.
Or yeah, well, yeah, and then she healed him.
But he can give them other limbs.
Other
but I don't know
limbs.
what he
Law
gives them
did it in
limbs.
Punk Hazard.
But, I don't know. You're getting in a weird territory there because do those limbs have to be cut off by Law's ability first before you can rearrange them?
Oh,
Maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I mean, animals around.
But I think any limb is better than none, right?
well, the thing
Exactly.
is like this. Listen, if the
That's
limb
my
has already
perspective.
been cut off,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
he did those to the people in Punk Hazard, right?
Right.
He gave them fake bottom half. So, yeah, he could give them.
He can give them limbs.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
but what you were saying, like they probably already.
Is it a
like,
pride thing?
No, I think this is like one of those things in the story where it's like,
Okay.
that's a convenient plot hole simply for the for the thematic purpose of what they're carrying.
I don't know. Laws.
So when he sees them
generally,
again, he can say, "Don't you remember? I took your arm and your leg," kind of thing.
Because I guess
look too much into Law's fruit because like
you're
if you go
right.
too
You're right. Because
into
he could do
it,
anything when you look at it. Because I was thinking about Kuros as well. Like, you know what I mean? Kuros could have got it.
Yeah. Like there's too many. Like Law's fruit was like honestly, it was like a bad idea in terms of story. But even though it's like a fucking amazingly cool
It's
fruit,
amazing
it's just
fruit.
like
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Unless the Sulong has some kind of regenerative powers.
Maybe.
I honestly, like, I'm not a too much fan of them getting back their limbs, but I kind of hate characters not having limbs.
I don't know
Sometimes.
if that
Like,
was
I
the
would,
case,
I
dude,
would not
if
mind
they
those two getting their
would've
limbs
gotten
back.
I hate characters not having legs. That's out.
Yeah.
One arm I'm okay with, but not having one leg is just like
yeah. How are you even supposed to fight like that?
Like you saw Kuros was like blitzing like with one leg. I was like, how are you doing
You know what's
this?
funny? What Drizzt is saying is making so much more sense now because one is missing an arm, one is missing a leg.
They gotta work
kinda, like,
together, yeah.
Yep.
They really
Together, you have to use what you're
just
missing.
alludes so much more to for them working together.
Absolutely, and that's how they overcome the trauma of Odin's death and forgive each other for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Beautiful. Best fight
That's
of
the
one.
generic plot line, but
Yeah, that's one piece right there for real.
But another thing might be an interesting plot point I wanted to talk about before you went on this random tangent is if Zoro might end up meeting like some like random samurai at some point, and it might even be like part of Odin's like whole group. And like, what if, like, say for example, like Zoro fights some random dude, and like one of Odin's people sees him, and he's like impressed, and he like tries to like. You know, like what if Zoro and like this like one of Odin's people like I don't know, I don't want to say become friends or something like that, but like he respects Zoro because like you got to remember they don't know that Zoro's part of like the Straw Hats or anything like that, or like that he's like a pirate. They
So
probably just
one of
think
the
he's-
alliance members.
True.
yeah. Well, someone in
Respect
someone in
in the
Odin's
sense of
family,
training.
Someone in Odin's camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they might want to recruit him as a strong
right?
samurai. Honestly, Zoro might end up being a spy and not even realize. Like, end up getting like intel and being on like
Yeah,
their
exactly.
like Orochi's side. Yeah, I could see that actually too.
The thing is with Zoro is just like he could definitely fall in positions like that because that's just not his forte, being with espionage and shit like that. So
Yeah, not like a spy, but basically he kind of gets recruited. They're like, "Oh, do you want to?" Well, I don't know, because he kind of wouldn't.
I don't know. Zoro's kind of like more steadfast. I see Chopper doing some shit like that, where Chopper's helping the
But I
enemy
mean,
by
not
mistake.
purposely though. That's the whole thing. He kind of just ends up
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't
like
know.
not like a plan, but it's just like he ends up like it just happens.
is the
Like,
Right,
he defeats a
exactly.
strong guy.
does he
Yeah.
get a sword at the end of this? Because that's the only way I can see Zoro being like, you know what I mean? Like, what's
I
the
mean, maybe.
purpose for it?
I'm still
Like I
waiting
don't
for
know.
him to
Maybe
get
some
Lucas
dude
for
like
it.
I don't know. This was just like something off the cuff. I forget why this even happened in the first place because I was gonna say this so long ago, but I had like a really good reasoning, but I forget why my reasoning was for even saying this in the first place.
I'm sure
But,
you'll find it for.
Oh,
Yeah.
There is one more thing I would like to at least entertain the idea of passing to you guys about the Dukes. This is the last thing I want to talk about them because I've been talking about them a lot. But I've had this theory for quite some time on my channel concerning the mysterious nature of like, the hierarchy of Zo. Yes, the third Mink ruler of Zo.
I remember that video.
So if you notice that, obviously, if you have a monarchy or a system of power, it's not new. Like the Mink's tradition is thousands of years old. That means there had to have been rulers before them. And if they were both retainers for Odin, they would be the worst retainers ever because they were kids.
Right.
So either Odin is ridiculously strong that he just allowed some kids to follow him, or there was the current ruler of Zo as a retainer as well. And we haven't seen them yet.
I did like that theory that there's somebody else that was there that we haven't seen that could be with Odin. But again, Odin's personality, how it's been fleshed out, or how what we see from him, could be a really arrogant guy, and just he really like.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you bring that up, like, it might be a thing because we were brought up in this chapter that the Duke and Inu were arguing over some weird shit. Maybe that also had to do with whatever the old person was
dying.
They probably died.
Yeah, like getting captured or something like that.
Because
and like
because they get the question, how did they get free?
They said that the Dukes were captured.
Yeah, how did they get free?
They were captured.
They were captured. Are the Dukes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it said
no one rescued them. Kinemon and them abandoned them.
They abandoned them. They thought they were done, and they.
So there was another possibility of who could have saved them.
Someone saved them.
Yeah, there's another possibility of who could have saved them, but I'll get to that when we get to that part of the chapter.
All right. Next part of the chapter, they talk about how Whitebeard was entranced by Odin, and Roger, and that Odin charmed Roger. Did you guys make of that? It was just random to me.
Charismatic.
Yeah, I think it's the same personality. Honestly.
Charisma,
Yeah.
strength.
It's the,
It's the way he riled like the lawless people. He was probably somebody that like wanted to explore. They said that, he always said the country was cramped or whatever.
Who's somebody my bad, Carly, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say who's somebody currently in One Piece that's alive who would have a similar personality to that?
Luffy. Honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say Luffy. Yeah.
Like Odin? I'm talking about like where leaving his dad and going and kind of being the strongest guy and rallying everybody together.
He didn't leave his dad; he was banished.
I don't see Luffy like that. I mean, look what happened when he went on the I forgot the island that he went on when he was training with Rayleigh. Like he became the boss of the island.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically that's kind of what Odin did just in that small area. But he always wanted to explore. He broke the rules by leaving to go travel with Roger. Came back.
Yeah.
Like he seems like that's why I think Roger would like somebody like that. Like somebody who doesn't who will break the rules to help other people.
So you think Odin had that special power like Luffy did?
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, to rally. I think he had not to the degree, but he had the power to rally. He rallied a whole bunch of lawless people, gave them jobs, turned it into like a thriving part of the country.
Right, actually.
So
yeah, because it's actually heavily implied that Momo has a lot of like
his traits.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was also thinking about the voice of all things thing.
Right, exactly.
With like where they said Odin did not pass down the ability to read poneglyphs to Momonosuke. And I said, is it possible that Odin knew of Momonosuke's power and that he wanted him to kind of flesh that out and interpret the poneglyphs that way instead of using the traditional method of reading it?
You might actually really be right because the whole thing with Momo, right, is like he like you said, he has the voice of all things and Luffy has the voice of all things. And like you said, like he might be Odin might be like Luffy a little bit where he like draws people together, and like that's actually exactly what Momo is doing right now, right? He's like drawing like a giant army together.
Yep.
Right? So that might actually be interesting.
It's possible. So the next one they talked about I guess with Odin again. Kinemon, they went into Odin's death, and they talked about it might be 20 years in the past, but it was just mere months ago for all of us. And I think this is when they talked. So this skipped around. It looked like stuff was missed in this point because it went from. It seemed like he said something, and then now he was like, "But that's just awful." And then what happened to Odin? And then it said he was taken to the Flower Capital as a criminal, tried and executed. And they talked about how it's fairly recent for them, and then that goes back to the things people are talking about with Kinemon as far as how he had like problems with dragons, the shit he was talking about, and then they talked about everything with the time Froob. What do you guys make of that? The time Froob. How do you feel about it?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing in general, there's so much to talk about, right? I actually talked about this in the Discord, like for like a long time after the chapter came out.
Yeah.
Because like there's just like so many things, right? Because okay, just to explain this, just so we can get into this, and you guys can share your thoughts on it. Like there was essentially there was 5 retainers there, right? So there was the 3 people, and then there was the big girl, and then the unknown dude.
Yeah, so Okiku, Kanjuro, Kinemon, Raizo, and one random person.
Right. So there was the 5 retainers there, and then there was the 2 kids and the mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she sent them to the future, the only people that came were 4 of the retainers and Momo. That means that 3 people got left behind, which is the mom, the daughter, and the 5th retainer. So obviously something weird happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but where she didn't want to send her daughter and the retainer forward, and that retainer is most likely still around. And so is the daughter.
I think I saw a Joy Boy video, if I'm not mistaken, and he said that the guy who was left behind could either be the guy that was in maybe it was Roger that was saying this, Roger's base. He was saying that, remember that it was like a chap, it was like a cover page.
Yes, it's the cover spread. The guy has the exact same clothes.
I think it's
exactly. It's either that, and then maybe what he did was she sent them 20 years into the future, but she might have sent the guy and the daughter like to a different time in the future to have him like kind of protect her. Maybe she didn't send them all together.
Generally, what I'm thinking. In flash forward time cliches, there's always one person that has to stay behind for some reason or another.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So this man, if I'm going to take a guess here, I would say that's probably the guy. Whatever reason he had to stay behind, he stayed behind.
And they were saying maybe it's the Hitetsu guy that we met right at the beginning of the
I think it's possible because that's
because he said he was waiting for somebody for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was with, and a lot of people starting to think Tama may be Momo's sister. He was with her, but but it wouldn't make sense that Tama would be.
It's not that it wouldn't make sense. We would just need answers to a few questions because, like, here's the question, right? If Tama is Princess Hiyori, then how did other people not recognize her as soon as we saw her? So, for instance, Kiku should know on a first name and face-to-face basis what Tama should look like.
You know what? That's right. Yeah, Kiku should know.
Future, right?
Yeah, that
and there are also other things, right? If Tama is Princess Hiyori, what is Hitetsu doing letting her go starve all the time? She would be treated on the same priority basis that Momo was as well.
Yeah, but at this point, he probably can't get the food no matter what he's like. He can't get.
Well, it's an interesting thing because you have 2 possibilities, and I think if you want to have a character that we know of as the identity of Princess Hiyori, Tama is the best option. The only other option you have is that it's a completely new character, and that Tama might be related to that character in some way, shape, or form. Because it's undeniable that right now Tama has an explicit connection to Princess Hiyori, and you have to imagine, out of the 2 people who didn't get to hear the story, there were both Zoro and then it was Tama left out of all this interaction. So it's obviously important to them.
And the thing also with Tama is, like, if you look at the actual story of Momotaro, that's like, Momonosuke's, Momonosuke is based off of, it's like what he did was he rallied the troops by feeding them kibidango. Like, he got a monkey, a pheasant, a dog. He did all of that by feeding them kibidango, and that's what Tama's power is. So now, it kind of makes sense to include her in
this is a question that I don't think we can have answered. Is that, okay, listen, if Hiyori is Tama, right? Then she also got sent forward in time, but not as long. Why?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Years old.
That's the thing. That's the only reason why I can't buy this theory is that I don't think that, like, okay, because I'm not saying the theory is wrong, right? Because in the theory, pretty much is that Momo got sent forward 20 years and then they got sent forward like 15 years. But it's like, at that point, why? Like, it seems more likely.
That question you have to say, well, why is Hiyori? What's Hiyori's purpose? Why is she important?
Right, exactly. And I think the more likely thing is that for whatever reason, the mom wanted them to stay back and like do some shit while the 20 years pass. I don't know what exactly the plan is, but I think it was just more like stay back and you watch her and like do whatever you need to do or something.
I have
don't
some. I don't know if we're going to get this answer, but I have a few questions concerning Toki's foresight. Or some people conclude that she has the ability to see the future, similarly to that shark bitch.
Right.
What's her name?
Madam Shirley.
Shirley. Yeah. Shirley. But like, here's the thing, right? If she's able to have these prophecies, then how selective is her prophecy? Because if she's able to see the future, then why couldn't she foresee bad things happening when they actually happened? Like, she's been traveling through time successfully. Like, most people will garner that she's probably from the Void Century, which is like, okay, yeah, fine, right? You can conclude that. But if she has the ability to see the future because of the time fruit, why didn't she use that in the Void Century? And why didn't she use that to save Odin's life?
What if it was a situation where she saw multiple, like, no matter what she saw, like, bad things are gonna happen?
Yeah. It can be all completely explained once we learn how the fruit operates. Because right now, the only thing we know is that she can't travel to the past. It's like, other than that, anything is a game. Which is why, for me, I'm not gonna judge it until I know.
Why did she stop at Odin though? Like I was always wondering that, and I was wondering if she needed somebody to pass down.
Well, that's an interesting question.
Why did she stay with Odin? You say why she stay with Odin?
Yeah, I figured like she was looking for somebody of his bloodline, because I feel like Momo's power to be able to talk to Zunisha may be related to her, and that's why we couldn't see her eyes, and we couldn't see like I know their whole bodies were kind of shaded out, but I feel like it's a reason why we couldn't like see her eyes and her face. It might be like she has the same eyes, and she probably passed them on to Momonosuke to be able to use.
But honestly, I think
if Zunisha was but if Zunisha was like roaming the world for 1,000 years because somebody gave her a command, that same Toki could be the one, like she could be the one who gave the command.
Shit.
Yeah, people.
Like, that's actually true. I never even thought about that.
But then, the thing is, like, if Toki gave the command to this to Zoe, right? Zoe would not have like good feelings towards Momonosuke.
Depends on what.
I don't. What do you?
After 1,000 years.
No, but after 1,000 years, it's like
knew specifically that Momonosuke could hear him though. Or hear her. I thought that was a boy or girl.
Well,
the anime messaged me.
Yeah. So Zunisha knew about it, but Zunisha, it seemed like Zunisha had like had an endearing like feeling towards Momonosuke. That's just how I interpret it.
So maybe not her, but maybe somebody a part of her bloodline or her clan.
Maybe someone from it could be her clan or an opposite like clan that had like that power.
Well, here's another thing. Zunisha's been walking for over 1,000 years, but the Void Century was 900 years ago.
It says before it.
Yes, so Zunisha was ordered before, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't.
It was a 100-year Void Century gap, and it started 900 years ago. But Zunisha was ordered to walk 1,000 years ago.
That is true, but I mean, if this person had the time fruit forever, like they could have easily jumped forward.
Well, if it was a 100-year gap 900 years ago, couldn't that also mean that it was 1,000 years ago? Like this, I don't know.
Well, like here's the interesting thing, right? So the way I'm going to interpret Toki as a person is that she was sent forward on time for the specific purpose of finding something special. And if you want to correlate this to the One Piece theme, it kind of goes back to what you need to be able to do to overcome and become the Pirate King and change the world and make the world, all in one. So it could be that Toki was sent forward in time to cultivate a power. So most people will garner this would be like an ancient weapon type of thing. Because it's only like once every few hundred years or however long it takes for that like reincarnation of the ancient weapon to occur, if it is reincarnated to begin with.
You know what? So maybe kind of like along the lines of what Brago said, maybe it wasn't her bloodline. Let's say it was the Kozuki bloodline that actually like somehow like that clan is the one who is able to communicate with Zunisha, and she was looking specifically for a point in time where she could find somebody, or like she could find somebody to be able to have kids with a part of that same bloodline. That would make more sense because like she couldn't do it with the Shogun. He would probably already be married. He had kids. Like Odin was also a rebel. He wasn't somebody who would like follow the same rules as the clan. So maybe she was able to get in there because he wasn't like a normal kind of guy, but he was still a part of the same clan.
Also, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if we're going off the story of like the Peach Boy, right, the Momonosuke story, right? Pretty much in the story, like, the boy was literally found in a peach, and obviously, I don't think that's gonna be exactly what happens in One Piece.
Like
but
James and a giant peach.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
But yeah, I think that I don't think that girl is actually Momo's mom, but I think that like the daughter is actually her daughter, if that makes sense.
Why do you say that?
Oh, I see
Well,
what you're saying.
but because, like I said, like the way that in the Momotaro story, he's just found, like, the baby is literally just found inside of a peach in the river, and like they're pretty much adopted. And I think that if you look at the picture on page 9 of Jiminy's box, both of their eyes are hidden for a reason, and Momo's eyes are shown. So I definitely think that it's gonna be something like that, to where like that's her actual daughter, but Momo's not her actual son. If that makes sense.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, the whole time fruit thing, I know people were mad at it when everything played out, saying that they should introduce this time travel in One Piece. I don't see the issue here. I think it's still fine. I think it could get messy, but as of right now, I'm loving it. I have no.
Yeah, but
problems
right
with
now
it.
it's clean because he gave guidelines
Yeah.
that let you not be able to go backwards. Even though people are saying like, oh, there's always still a chance. The fact that they're kind of already set in stone that you can't go back, right? For right now, it's like there's nothing really to complain about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on what your outlook is. For right now, I don't think we know enough to make a judgment on it. But like, if you were someone who is concerned about it, you would argue like, okay, then well, for what purpose was time travel introduced into the story then? Because if you limit it to make sure it's like, okay, you limit the amount of paradoxes, right? You can only do time travel so much because you're gonna have paradoxes to begin with. But why was it necessary to introduce the time fruit? What could you not have done without the time fruit? So like that's the interesting part of it.
That's the number one question right now, right?
Yeah.
So like, why specifically send them 20 years in the future in the first place, or like, I don't know, like all those questions? Like, I don't know, like, there's just like a lot of things we need answered about that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really
Yo,
exciting,
guys.
all these questions.
Hey guys,
There was a Lando.
I'm gonna dip. I'm too tired, bro.
I understand,
Yeah.
bro. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Peace out, Lando.
Take it easy, bro.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Kaido's calamities. I think we got a glimpse of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What,
so.
what do you
Even
guys
though it was
think?
just
You guys see Flying Panda's interpretation of the calamities?
I have not. What do you say?
No, he made a thumbnail like showing what he thinks they were.
Oh,
like,
wasn't one of them like Virgo or Hogback or something? Like,
It looked like a hogback face through Virgo's body.
yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
I didn't notice the calamities, or we're assuming the calamities should be the calamities on the initial read, where people were like, yo, the calamities, blah blah. I think it's cool showing them here, like giving them an outline.
Well, like here's the thing with outlines and Oda, like
It could change. It could change.
So,
It could change.
I mean, it's
Well,
like,
okay,
whatever.
this is the thing. The good dude in the middle is almost for sure gonna look like that. He seems like important, and like you can't really change the design.
Yeah, you can't.
Dude, all
change
the way in the
Pika.
Usually the
right?
guy in the middle is the most important.
Yeah, the guy in the middle is definitely Pika, right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Pika. He came
definitely
back.
Pika.
Yeah,
He's like Braga's dropping Dressrosa.
Right.
and he got a smile fruit. Gotta give him the smile fruit.
But yeah, the dude on the right, it's just fucking some bald dude with a smile. He can definitely change his
So
appearance.
like here's the thing, right? Like there's like I don't really want to play into meta theories right now, but like you guys are probably aware, but there's the idea of King, Queen, Jack, right?
Yeah.
Calamities, and those are all obviously guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've heard of the Okama Queen theory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's still possible.
Well, I mean, the thing is like that person in the middle definitely could be Queen, because like I mean, I don't know, like the mask.
If that's a girl, then that is the thickest neck girl in the series. But so that'll be.
There we go. Love her.
Yeah, that'll be my favorite character then.
What was the Okama theory exactly again about?
Basically, it's about Sanji's character, how like he always gets tormented by Okamas. His judge was originally designed to be an Okama. People think that
Really?
in order for Sanji to like basically overcome all of his trials, along with like the raid suit, basically, that he'd get rid of two birds with one stone, like technically fight a quote unquote woman, which would be the Queen Okama, and like it basically complete his character. Essentially, that's the idea behind it, at least.
I mean, those calamities do look pretty like fierce, honestly. I know it's just like an outline or whatever, but it's shaded, but they look pretty clean. That middle guy looks like a savage for real.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be my favorite. I just like the way I think his design is going to be. The guy on the right though looks like a Italian guy from like Mario or something. I was like, he looks like he's bald and has like a
Waluigi kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another thing to note though
Waluigi.
is that it's very possible that these aren't the current calamities, right? Because this was 20 years ago.
That's possible, yeah.
Maybe
I like
maybe,
that.
but
If
with
Jack was around back then
I like that.
I don't
Fruit.
know.
Well, I mean, but you got to remember, like, it could be like if we're going off your theory, Jack, and then we have King, which is the dude in the middle, and then the dude on the right, maybe he fucking like fucked off or something. Like, who knows? Like,
I mean, it
Like,
could be,
a
but
lot could happen in 20
that
years.
person in the middle, that person in the middle
Hold on,
where
really
they have
quick. Do we
armor
really
on.
think that Big Mom had her same 3 commanders all 20 years ago? I don't know.
Katakuri's 50 years old.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, do you think that she had her 3 sweet commanders established for like 20 years straight?
I think the probably wouldn't. It just went by birth. Like, okay, you're here, you're this strong. I don't think there were probably previous sweet
I
commanders.
don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's very possible that Paraspero could have been a sweet commander at some point.
The one in the middle could be a female. I mean, that looks like armor, honestly. Like you would never know.
Yeah, it could be like I really like the theory that the one in the middle is like a Cyclops or something. Like it's like the same kind of.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, like an Oni.
Yeah, it's basically like it's like a type of it would be like the
Like a
same
demon.
race that Kaido is, right? So there's like another giant or whatever inside his crew, and it's possible that it could just be a girl giant or something.
You think Kaido's Oni?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's based.
I
don't wanna
actually
say
like that
confirmed,
Oni
but it's
devil
highly
fruit
likely.
thing. Yeah, I either
It's
like that or like somebody has to have a dragon, like an actual dragon devil fruit.
Orochi.
though, I feel like.
Like, here's the
No.
thing, right? I'm totally fine with it being an Oni, but like, this is just my own personal bias. I mean, I've watched shows with a bunch of demons in it, and usually Onis are really boring. So like, I'm not totally excited about like an Oni clubbing people, but I'm sure Oda will make it exciting in some way.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing is, like, Kaido's 100% an Oni. Like, or I shouldn't say 100%, but he's like 99% an Oni. Like, it's setting up everything to it, right? I mean, there's been the theory, like, for the longest time that Kaido's either one of 2 things. He's either an Oni with a dragon fruit or a dragon with an Oni fruit. But it seems more likely that he's just an Oni with a dragon fruit because, like, or it doesn't have to be a dragon fruit, but I think he has some crazy zone fruit.
He still might be a dragon because I don't know. Whenever Momonosuke was talking about never flying again, it was kind of correlated to specifically Kaido.
Yeah, I went
And you
back
have
and
to
tried to
question
find
how he
that.
got back on to that Sky Island to begin with. So it
Yeah,
still could
that
be.
actually the whole Sky Island thing is like how he would. I could see him being a dragon and flying up there. I actually would like
if he's an Oni that's like has a dragon fruit, I would fucking flip shit, dude. That'd be amazing.
because you
No,
know the
I think he
dragon's
is, because-
scales are like undamageable by like normal means. So him being indestructible. would
lot of
play
people
part
think-
into that.
A lot of people think that the form that we see Kaido in is his devil fruit form, but I feel like that would be kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, 100%. It would. Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
don't
he
think
has
that-
other
that's
forms.
the form.
Sure, he has other.
No,
forms.
but I just think that's just like his main form, not non-devil
Yeah.
fruit form. Because like,
Yeah, I would
why
agree.
would Oda show us his devil fruit?
You don't want to ruin the surprise, basically.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, yo, that's so hype, dude.
I used to like that he might be a descendant of the Oars race.
No, yeah, I
always
think that
liked
is
I've
true.
seen that
too.
around too.
Yeah, I think that's true as well.
Descendant of the Oars race. I've seen theories about that. So wait. So are we completely erasing the theory that he's a poneglyph?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are, Brago.
I don't know, man. We'll keep our minds open, right?
I mean, because the thing is, even if he like, let's just say he was a poneglyph and they put a devil fruit into him, like he would be like this evil and like be this sentient. Like when they put that the elephant into that sword, like it just followed the commands of whoever was wielding it. It wasn't like the sword just drops and it just turns into an elephant, just does what it wants, kind of. So I don't think that like that would make no sense that a dragon for no like a dragon devil fruit for no reason wants to take over the world type shit. All these crazy wars.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think he's a poneglyph. I'm not sure where that theory came from, but I know it was a thing.
I mean, I feel
Yeah,
we'll see
because
the poneglyph
because
when we
fucking
see
people
his-
said
his
that
island.
Kaido can't die.
Invincible
poneglyph.
means poneglyph. I don't know.
Rama's
So what do you
gonna
guys
read them.
feel about the like the implication that basically everything goes down on the island, all out war?
I like that.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I
it's
don't
a
know.
fresh.
There's
It's a new. Well, it's most of the island. Well, the parts where the people are fucked up anyway. So it's kind of like it's a fresh start. You know, it's a fresh start with everything gets destroyed, and I feel like it just has to happen because they gotta.
So
rebuild
do you
shit
feel
anyway.
like so for
And,
me,
like-
I kind of view this as kind of 2 separate storylines as the like Water 7 to Eni's Lobby type situation, where we could have the entire Shogun thing wrapped up, and then like the final act is like Kaido and the Calamities and everyone being defeated.
That's possible.
Yeah, Because I could see Luffy destroying Kaido's island, but not wanting to actually destroy the
Because
city of
for me,
Wano like
I
he
don't
did
think it makes
Dressrosa.
sense for Kaido's final war to happen if calamities have already been defeated beforehand. Like even with just one.
This is my whole thing. I don't think it's possible in any way, shape, or form to predict what's gonna happen in this arc in terms of like matchups and shit like that.
Yeah, not
on
yet,
like a
'cause we
grander
haven't
scale
seen
because
enough people.
like the thing is we have like the whole Big Mom plot line, right? And we
Mhm.
also have the Marines plot line. And it's like how is that even going to play out if Big Mom comes to the island? How is it going to play out if Big Mom, Kizaru, and Kaido are on the island? Like that's just insane. So it's like I don't think like there's too many things going on at the same
matchups,
time.
Yeah, we definitely can't do matchups because of that alone. Yeah, that is true.
I think it depends upon what your interpretation is.
Well, yeah, well, obviously you can have your own interpretation, and at the end of the day, there's gonna be some dude like, oh, I called it. I said 2 years ago that Kaido was gonna get shit on by Big Mom, and then Luffy's gonna pull out the super magma fist. I don't know, like some stupid shit. But like in general, like I don't think that there's gonna be like a good way to predict what's gonna happen because there's just too many factors.
I mean, Kaido's not just getting shit on by Big Mom anyway. He's not just gonna get
Yeah,
shit
I know.
on.
I just said some random shit, but
Yeah, do we actually think Big Mom and her family comes there?
Yes.
I mean it's
I think they come
possible.
down
I mean,
to
she
do anything.
said.
I just don't think. I think that everything is going to be taken care of before Big Mom comes there.
Yeah, so like this is what my
Yeah, that's
idea has
also
been, and what I've been
possible, too.
arguing for a while is that for me, if this is going to be anywhere similar to Marineford, then roles are going to have to be played. Big Mom is going to play a role similar, in my opinion, but not the same as Shanks did
Shanks?
when he came to end the war.
I don't think. I think because I was
Because
rewatching.
listen, to complete the plot line between all of the characters, I don't think you should really include other Yonkos fighting each other, because I feel like that would kind of ruin the theme of the story.
I agree.
Fucking Kizaru's about to Green Bull's about to murder Usopp, and then Big Mom just fucking comes
You just
in
see
with.
Katakuri
The thing
eating
is, why
donuts on
would
a ship, like, whoa,
why would Big Mom?
Katakuri.
It's time to stop this.
Well, I mean, I was thinking
Why
of
would
the
why would
Look,
she
it's not
stop
going to be the
Luffy
exact
from
same way as
killed?
Shanks.
No, I know. I was kidding, but
I was thinking of the plot point of the giant that got away, that knows Big Mom's secret, right? And it's like
Yeah.
Big Mom going to Wano. It just seems so.
Her entire storyline resolving in Wano to me just doesn't make any
doesn't make any
significant
sense.
Yeah,
I feel like she has to go to
yeah,
Elbaf.
I mean,
she has to go to
I
Elbaf.
feel you. I feel you on that, but at the same time, it's like, what was the point of that phone call that we saw between Big Mom and Kaido?
Well, the thing is, what is she chasing?
Luffy,
Luffy.
right?
Where do we assume Luffy goes after Wano?
Oh,
Elbaf.
Elba.
Elbaf.
Right.
So I think by the time Big Mom gets there, there's going to be something that holds her up, where she
Maybe
takes
the
a while.
Marines.
and listen,
maybe
if,
so.
if people, I mean, if Big Mom's going to be there, it's entirely possible that Blackbeard is there as well.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
Shanks goes
Like,
anyway.
you know, I just,
Yeah.
you know, I
One
just,
of the Yonkos could be there.
you know, I just thought of.
What?
So, in One Piece, we know there's a pirate that's been like a gatekeeper, kind of maintaining the balance of the world right now.
Yeah, Buggy.
Yeah, definitely Buggy, right? And he was at the Reverie. He was at the Reverie.
Yeah.
Oh, Shanks.
Shanks. Could Shanks hold up Big Mom to kind of prevent Big Mom and Kaido from being in
Absolutely.
the same place?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because
But, I mean,
Yeah.
Shanks
the
knows-
Marines say they're not
knows
doing
that-
it, right? So I mean, Shanks is just meeting with the Gorosei. They could have a conversation about it. Say, okay, I'll hold them up. We don't want them to meet yet. And then by the time Luffy leaves Wano, you know they're going to Elbaf. Then he's like, all right, whatever. Big Mom goes to Elbaf to find Luffy, I think, and then everything unravels about her past with the giant that knows everything as far as her eating Mother Caramel. Everything has to unravel in
You know,
Elbaf.
that would parallel quite nicely with how Kaido was delayed by Shanks as well.
Yeah,
So
because
Oh man,
That's a
I
good
mean,
idea.
I feel you on that, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if we only got like one hint towards, like, okay, so for example, if we only got the hint that Big Mom was coming,
yeah.
I could definitely see that. But since we got the hint that also the Marines are coming with Kizaru and possibly Green Bull, it's like, I don't know, like it just seems like there's gonna be.
I think Marines are gonna go, but they're gonna go.
yeah, but like, listen, Froob,
Undercover.
If other Yonkos show up, what are they going to do?
They
I
can't.
think there's another
They're
group
not
that's
going
gonna
to
come.
risk destroying the
too.
entire world's balance.
Well,
I
where's
think there's
Bla-
another group that'll come, but I didn't want to like. It's
I mean, who
kinda
knows?
like
Maybe they
some
send
of that.
Green Bull there.
Here's the
Like,
thing. Big Mom.
It's,
If
it's something.
Big Mom can't. The thing is, Big Mom go into Kaido's territory. it's a war, right? It's an all-out war.
Yeah.
But Big Mom leaving her territory, it's wide open. She has poneglyphs there. So it's just like, I just don't see it being that.
I don't see Big Mom's end coming.
Yeah, no.
I'm heavily against the idea, I would say.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that she's even going to be defeated there, but it's just in general, like, there's a very high possibility that she is there and she affects the plot.
She's guaranteed to be there, but I don't feel like she's going to be like an instigator for something even bigger happening during that arc. I feel like the entire purpose of Wano is mostly going to be focused on Kaido, and that Big Mom will show up. She'll play an important role, but she's not going to be like. And I hate this headcanon, and it honestly irritates me to the point where I'd probably get emotional about it. Is the idea of Big Mom fighting Kaido killing Big Mom, and then
being
Kaido
weakened
weak enough for
Luffy to beat him. That's so.
I mean, that's 100% not going to happen.
That's no, because the implications with that is Big Mom goes, you would assume some Sweet Commanders go, and it's like that means everybody's going to be weakened for the Straw Hats. So it's going to be another a cakewalk.
What does that do for the purpose of the series? Luffy's supposed to defeat the Yonko. He's not going to.
It's going to go into Usopp's how Usopp wanted things to go.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Luffy didn't want to happen. So,
and I kind of don't think we see like
we're not going to see two Yonkos go at it
again. I can see Smoothie coming again, but I don't see like Katakuri coming here too. Like I don't. That's the thing. She has to bring the Sweet Commander.
I mean,
replace Katakuri too.
I would think Katakuri. If Katakuri comes, who is he? I mean, he could fight anybody on Kaido's.
I mean, he could fight an admiral. That would be cool.
That'd be dope.
That's what I'm thinking. That if she does come there, maybe
Marine presence would have to be there already.
Right.
But I also do think I didn't want to skip ahead, but I do think that like the fleet will also come too, and I think that in the last chapter.
Why's that?
Because like when the last chapter, that whole little thing about Sanji and them finding Luffy's like his Viver card, and at the end of this chapter, them if they wanted to take down Kaido or they wanted to go to war,
ideal is 5,000 strong,
like 5,000 plus. I think like if Luffy said if we need help, we'll call out to you, and Luffy could easily like burn a piece of his Vivi card, like just start burning it a little bit. That like if Bartolomeo's on the ship and they see the Vivi card burning, they're immediately gonna head.
Not even that. What if Luffy gets into some shit and they think he's gonna die, so everyone goes there?
That's already been debunked.
Wait, why?
How?
If Luffy has never been closer to death in the entire series than when he fought Katakuri, and we had the entire Grand Fleet cover story during that point in time. If you have that introduced, then you create an entire plot hole within the series.
Yeah, see, that's true, but that's why I'm saying he might intentionally make a way to destroy the card.
Luffy never guaranteed he would call them. He said, "You call us."
Yeah, but he said if we need help, we'll also call out to you, and if you call out,
the Grand Fleet
help you.
5,500 people. But here's the thing: if you combine the entire race of minks,
that's
every samurai possible, you would easily have enough for 5,000 people, without having the Grand Fleet become involved.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, how many do they have already? They never stated how many they had already.
Because for me, I've always viewed the Grand Fleet not as a Wano thing, but as an
end game. Yeah,
right? So that's my interpretation, at least.
I feel, or if anything, one of them come. One of them.
Yeah.
I don't see like all of them. I feel like I wouldn't mind if every arc going forward, one member of the Grand Fleet could be involved.
Exactly. That's what I kind of think is the most likely, because the whole endgame thing I never really liked that much, because it's like, okay, we get the fleet and then we just don't see shit until the last.
I would like for them to be involved, at least one of them, because I feel like Bellamy is going to come back at some point. I don't mind seeing Bellamy again pretty soon, because he didn't.
Yeah, like, but here's the thing with the theme of Bellamy, it's like that ties completely together with the endgame. So this is my interpretation. At least you can disagree. We can have a talk about it. But like, here's the thing. If Luffy gets to the point at the end of the series where it's everybody versus everybody, then Luffy's going to be the head of a severely big alliance of new pirates. Hence, new flag. New leadership, new flag kind of thing.
Well, I was thinking Bellamy gets a flag for like his ship, right?
Well, it wasn't he making a Straw Hat flag?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's making his own Straw Hat flag.
He could be making multiple flags for the entire
for the fleet.
That's also possible. Yeah, I like that idea.
Because Luffy, they're gonna have ships. It's like first commander shit. You know,
wait,
everybody's gonna want to. Yeah, he was, and everybody's gonna want to be flying that Straw Hat flag.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he wasn't. He was just making a regular flag.
So here's the thing, though. Other fleets, like the Yonko, they aren't flying Whitebeard's flag.
Yeah, they have their own flag.
Yeah.
They were the allied.
Yeah, and this flag is cannot be torn, right, or burned.
And that's like thematic with Whole Cake Island. Yeah.
Nah, I would like to see like at least a member going forward. I think.
Well,
that'd
like here's
be
the thing:
dope.
how do you bring one member in and then justify leaving the rest out?
Yeah,
They
but I
do-
do see the Giants.
They
like,
doing
that
other
Giant
shit
crew playing
like
a role
Hajrudin
with
coming
Big Mom
into
and
them
all
with
that.
Elbaf.
But like, how would Hyrule know to go to Wano?
Yeah, see,
Or they send
It
him,
could
send him a
also
text.
just be some.
Send him a text. Hit him up.
Yeah, just hit him up. Send him a text on the Den Mushi V2.
I don't know, but to go back a little bit though to what we were talking about, like the like 3-way thing with Kaido, Big Mom, and the Marines. I just want to like one last thing to say on that. I don't think there would be any point in like being it to where it was something like Luffy and his alliance fight against Kaido and the Shogun, and then Big Mom and the Marines come and like they just fight each other off until it's over. Like it would just. I don't think that would like bring much to the arc in general to just have
yeah,
them in the
not for
background.
not for like the Straw Hats plotline, just to have Marines
Yeah,
fighting Big Mom
exactly.
pirates. It really
Like
does
why
nothing
why
for
even bring
Luffy
them in the
story.
first place if they're just going to cancel each other out? I mean, maybe it adds some type of like Doflamingo birdcage type thing to where it's like urgency to leave, but aside from that, I don't know.
Well, then what would be your interpretation? Then what would be their purpose?
I mean, it might just cause like some. I mean, I don't know personally. I have absolutely no idea. It's one of the things that's kind of like been racking my brain in terms of like predictions about the future is how Big Mom and the Marines are gonna come into play in all of this. I haven't been able to figure it out.
Yeah, who knows? I know people been looking at Law recently and said Law has had some strange faces throughout Wano.
I thought that at one point
What?
also.
Strange
strange
faces.
Strange faces.
Yeah, they said Law seems to not be pleased by anything that's going on right now.
My whole thing with that though is that I don't see Law. I think it would be good, like a good plot line and a good plot twist to have Law like betray Luffy, but I really don't think that he will do that because he was resolved to die at Dressrosa. Like he thought that was it for him. He told his crew to go somewhere else. He didn't like he went to go challenge Dofi, not thinking that, you know, he thought like he might die from doing this.
Right, but I mean
So
the thing is,
Luffy kind of saved them from that. Like without
yeah.
Luffy, he was not beating Dofi.
Well, Luffy just repaid the favor.
Oh well, yeah. You know what? That is true.
You
Well,
know,
like, here's
That
the
is
thing,
actually
though.
true.
Like, I'm entirely cool with the interpretation of Law potentially betraying Luffy, but these strange faces,
Yeah.
I think, are being mistaken for like things used in comedic gags.
Yes.
Wait, what strange faces are you even talking about?
Like, I imagine, and I'm not sure. I have to talk to the people who have Brago confirm it, but like him just like freaking out, like, oh, that's not what you're doing. Like, you know, Zoro, you're an idiot, or Luffy, like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. So is that and
I think it was the time when he was like, I hate benevolent pirates,
Yes,
kind of thing.
that
and he was
one-
mad about him doing that.
at the end of the
Like,
chapter, he doesn't seem to be happy. And there are 2 panels in which he doesn't seem to be happy.
Wait, one is that I hate benevolent pirates. Was that this chapter?
Last chapter, I think.
No, that was like a
When
few
Luffy's
chapters ago,
talk-
when Luffy
yeah.
brought the
Bro-
paradise. ship
Yeah, when Luffy
to
brought the
people.
food. Yeah, so it's just like people are kind of, because people know, people have been saying this theory
that was
about
a
Law
joke.
for a while. People are trying to kind of piece things together to say, hey, see that? That's why he's going to betray them. You know, people been trying to do that. So-
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense in terms of plot, in my opinion. Like, it was kind of confirmed in the Viva card thing that Kid was going to have a role in this arc, especially like an ally role. Why would Law betray them just for Kid to become an ally? Like,
I think it would be cool for Law to betray, but like, and maybe you think differently, but like the way I interpret Law is he's basically just a Straw Hat buddy for life now.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
Yeah, I hope not, but I can see that happening. I don't think I want it to end necessarily in betrayal, but I want it to end with Law kind of reaping some spoils
exactly.
as well. You know, like
Law
him
is like
getting
the
something.
The alliance is only supposed to be until they defeat Kaido. That was like the main.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would really like it if we got to see more of Law's ambitions, explained more now what he wants to do with his life.
I mean, that's why I was thinking his entire ambition was taking down Doflamingo. Like that was his whole thing since Cortazon got killed. That was his main thing he was living for from being like a child.
Yeah, but then my thing with Law, at this point, I think Law's goal is to find out more about the Void Century. All right. So you can find out more about the Void Century the higher up you go in the One Piece world. And I think that's Law's goal currently. So how do you get there? Probably getting more poneglyphs and just increasing your status in the world. Because Yeah, Doflamingo was probably like his final goal at that point. But I think after talking to like Sengoku, it was like a renewed focus to like I want to find out more about the Void Century, so I can
And
kind
the
of
Will of D.
and
D
the
is
Will of
also
D.
a D too.
Right, the Will of
There's
D,
also-
the Will of D mostly like of the Void Century to kind of because then he can understand Corazon a bit more. In a way, it just
Yeah,
like
there's two things about the whole Law situation. It's like one, Law is like pretty much one of my favorite characters, and he's also one of like in general a lot of the
Fan
readers'
favorite.
favorite
Yeah.
characters. Yeah, he's like a fan favorite. So like making him betray Luffy before Kaido falls would kind of like it would definitely leave a sour taste in my mouth. Like damn, like oh fuck, I really like this character. Why do you have to do that type thing? And
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
also like I don't know. I just don't see like look at like Law's crew for example. Like they seem like in general they're kind of like joke characters. Like how would they react to like
well,
him
remember,
just betraying?
remember when we saw his entire crew?
Yeah.
He has a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think he has like 20 or 20 plus.
It's a lot
under
of
25
people.
though.
Yeah, but we don't even know we don't even know them for real. We know like a few, like Beppo and John Bart.
Yeah.
John Bart got fucking owned by one of the minks. Like I don't, you know. So there may be other people with Law that haven't been revealed yet. I don't know, but
Well, Brago, some of your questions may be answered because we're getting the novel of Law soon.
yeah, we may get more information on it.
Yeah, just like novel of Ace, which I mean, you could take that as confirmation. Like, okay, usually only good guys kind of get this stuff because you don't have to
Okay.
confirm much more about their character. But if maybe we can learn more about Law's ambitions outside
Yeah,
of just Corazon.
I think the most likely thing is kind of like Luffy, Law, and Kid defeat Kaido. Not like maybe not at the same time, right? But in general, they team up all their forces to defeat Kaido, and then they have some type of moment where it's like a New World Sabaody type thing, where it's like, okay, this time is for real. Now we're all against each other, and like they just leave the island like that with like the
I don't
Marines
know,
chasing them and stuff like that.
I don't know because like if you conclude that Wano is going to end with Kaido at the very least being defeated and or dead, then one person is going to end up way ahead of the others.
Why?
Yeah, that would be that would be
Because
Luffy too.
Luffy already has a head start, but who do you think is going to get most of the credit? That they always do.
Luffy.
I mean, yeah, Luffy, but like
if
that doesn't.
Luffy becomes quote unquote like officially recognized as part of the Goko/Yonko at this point in time, then for me that kind of finishes it.
I would hate that though. Oh my god. Like I mean, I already hate it. Like I really already hate it right now, but I would like for I don't know. The supernovas just isn't a thing anymore to me.
Well, like I don't think they ever were. Well, at least from what I've seen from Oda and
come
what
on,
Oda
that's-
thought they were supposed to
That's
be,
silly.
they weren't. I think they were originally
That's not how the
supposed to be
story
just-
was portrayed them at all, though.
It
I mean,
doesn't
you
matter what the story portrayed them anymore. Oda only kept them in for the purpose that the fans liked them. Literally, that's what he said.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think Oda the fans did like him, but you think Oda would make it more competitive between this like group?
Well, I mean, Oda only thought Kid was going to be important, and he just made Law into the story.
Exactly.
because-
But I mean, Law is at this point. I mean, Luffy's at 1.5, right? 1.5.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that at all.
And Law-
that doesn't,
I think
that doesn't make any sense.
I think at that point in time, that's exactly what Oda thought. But I feel like it's changed now that he's kind
No,
of
because if you
the
look at how Sabaody was like crafted, it doesn't make any sense at all for that to be like that.
Then why would Oda say that he thought more than about half of the supernovas wouldn't have made it to the New World?
I understand what you're saying, but like Oda says some weird shit all the time that I don't know what the fuck he's coming from. But I'm just telling you, like from a general story standpoint, one, we got like a little bit from each of these characters, and he came up with intricate character designs and devil fruits for all these characters. You don't think he was going to expound on them whatsoever in the future? Like like a lot of the supernovas have like really almost all of them have like super interesting devil fruits and powers.
I agree.
To the point where like a character like Hawkins, how are you just going to throw a character like that out? That doesn't
Here's the
make any
thing.
sense.
Here's the thing, Froob. There's a difference between what I want to happen and what I think Oda wants as a writer to happen.
No, I know
Because
that,
like,
but
the
I'm trying to
purpose
tell
of
you
writing
that
those
I don't think
characters is just world building.
I don't even think he believed himself when he said that.
I mean, the thing is, it's hard to feel like all of them are going to be just like they're just thrown in because look at how Bonnie's tied into Kuma now. Of course, Oda can write that in. That's something he can just
Right.
like throw in there. But I feel like yes, they're fan favorites, but now they're so intricate to the story It's just that we can't. I don't think we can just view them that way
I feel like
anymore.
the way Oda has changed is that he's made each one of them supposed to be important in one aspect of the story. Because he even in the Vivi cards, he even put aside that like a Rouge is carrying some special mineral with them, and it has a purpose. So even a Rouge could be important now, along with Bonnie.
Oh man.
But I mean, I guess it depends because I mean, it could be that Wano ends with like, you know, the standard Kid, Law, Luffy all kind of ending up with like the same reputation, and then like you can take things from there.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm not confident in that happening, but I would certainly like it to.
Yeah, agreed. Overall, fantastic chapter.
Yeah, it was a good chapter.
Fantastic chapter. Some people had some problems with it. They were saying they still had issues with the time fruit, like I said. They wanted more. They wanted more reveals. I don't know. I don't
know. There was only like one thing that you can even criticize this chapter for, and I don't even think it's really that big of a deal.
The jump?
No, the only thing I can criticize it for is that I feel like there was a little bit too much recap.
As far as what Kinemon and them went through?
Yeah, like, oh, and this is how we got here, and that's how we got there. I feel like a general statement would have been like, and that's what led us to here now, instead of like recapping like, and then we made it to Punk Hazard, and then we made it to Dressrosa.
I think
I actually completely disagree with that.
I think I didn't mind that at all because Oda's been doing that throughout like Wano. And
the thing is,
and at the Reverie as well. Maybe did a bunch like giving us entire like the narrator giving us entire backstory into characters like Dalton, blah 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 blah.
Like listen, as I said, I don't think it's that bad. But the only thing that's potentially bad about it is it just undermines the intelligence of your readers. That's it.
I mean, I guess kind of, but at the same time, like I can't expect every fan to like. Okay, when I read that, it was like, okay, I know all this. I understand the timeline completely. Like whenever you're introducing something like time travel, it might be like kind of important to kind of like just go through the timeline just so everyone understands completely what happened. Because like I remember I think it was last chapter, right before we were getting the reveal of everything. I remember fucking Wallow came in the stream or whatever, and he's like, I hated this chapter because I wanted to know who destroyed the village. And it was I thought that was pretty fucking obvious that Kaido destroyed the village, but like obviously he didn't like piece that together. So it was like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can just expect everything to piece everything together like that.
Yeah, not immediately. The thing about One Piece is it's honestly about the journey, not the destination. Like that's what even that's Luffy's sentiment. Like he doesn't want to know anything. He just wants to experience everything. So even with the story, that's why it's good to piece things together with headcanon sometimes. Because you're not gonna get all the answers. Like if Oda would have just gave you everything in that chapter, then what would we have gotten now?
I think that's Oda's specialty.
It's better to wait and know and find out.
I think that's Oda's specialty. Give you just a little bit. Give you just a little bit, and you can like interpret what you want. Then maybe I'll reveal it later, or maybe it's just like, and that's kind of the lore of One Piece, in which, like I posted on my Twitter the other day, the Doflamingo thing. As far as was Doflamingo wrong, to kill Corazon. And that had so many different reactions, and I was like, "Oh wow!" Like, and it's in a way like how Oda wrote that and how he kind of crafted it. It's kind of brilliant, in which you had a situation which a guy kills his brother, and people on the side of okay, it's justified, but then you had people like completely against that. So I feel like One Piece now, and it will continue to be about interpretation. And you're gonna get scenarios in which it's not really clear. Like we got like the Luffy versus Katakuri, the ending of that fight. We saw like how the uproar was for that. Like I didn't necessarily like the end. Some people liked the end. Some people thought it was like thematically amazing, and I'm like that's fine.
I thought it was all right, but the fact that some people were saying like they couldn't tell what happened at the end. I thought for me personally, it was pretty obvious that.
Yeah,
they both hit each other.
Yeah, I didn't understand that whole
into
thing.
The ground from the attack. Like we didn't really see Luffy's blow fully. We didn't see either of them. We just saw the aftermath. And like the thing is, if they didn't hit each other, Luffy would have not been sunken into the ground like that. Like he got.
I hated that entire. I remember that.
Yeah, that moment was crazy.
Right now, I've been in a good mood lately. Don't start talking about Whole Cake around.
I wanted to just see the impact. I wanted that.
Yeah.
No, I mean I get that, but people were saying like, "Oh, we don't know what happened." It's like, dude, we know what happened.
I
Like,
just
it was
wanted to
pretty
see the
clear what
impact.
happened.
That's all I
yeah,
wanted.
I get you. I get
You know what I
that.
mean? Like I feel like we've been waiting for that the entire fight, and then we don't get it. It was just kind of, but regardless, it is what it is. Whole Cake Island is what it is. I just saw a video for the Whole Cake Island anime. It was well, I didn't watch it yet, but I don't plan on watching it. Luffy Gear 4 overwhelms Katakuri. Like 700.
You need to catch up to this anime like now.
This has
Like, it is,
700,000 views in 6 hours.
I'm not surprised because even the episode that just came on today, when like it's the episode of Katakuri using the Galactic Donuts for the first time.
Yeah.
Phew, man,
People are really loving
It's
the
just
anime
like-
right now.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do soon is probably I'm just gonna go through and I'm just gonna fucking skip every single part of the anime that isn't the Katakuri fight and just watch.
There's some good moments there though, for real. Like before the Katakuri fight, like the introduction of Katakuri Daifuku and Oven is fucking gold. Like
Yeah, but the problem is if I see Sanji on screen for too long, I might want to just
Stop
turn it
it.
off.
you know what's
Stop
funny?
it.
They
That's
haven't been
reasonable.
so far for these past episodes. Like you get like 15 minutes of Luffy versus Katakuri, and in between you might get 3 minutes of Sanji like doing the cooking stuff with pudding.
But
Like like
Yeah,
the
I'm
same way it
skipping
was
that
in the,
part.
in the manga, but the thing is, it's only like 2 or 3 minutes, but the rest is really just Luffy and Katakuri throwing. That's why I could appreciate it so much. It's just them fighting.
what I hate
It's
is
just
that
so much of the
they
fight.
fucking the Luffy dodging Katakuri's jelly bean thing was so, they downplayed the hell out of that in anime. It was not
Sanji?
it was not a thing in the anime.
Talking about Sanji or no?
Sanji,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just like a regular dodge. Like it was like I was like, oh, okay.
Sanji fans everywhere salty as
I
fuck.
was
I,
like-
I actually saw backlash of that on Oroja.
I was like, what the fuck is? I mean, I was kind of like, really? You just gonna take my man's moment away like that? Oh,
Sanji's
man.
trash.
Yeah, Katakuri
He's
was just
fucking
like
accept it.
he dodged it.
He
too.
dodged it.
It was
Yeah.
nothing like a
Totally
big
thinks
idea.
dodging a jelly bean isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, it wasn't big of a deal that for the anime studio. They were just like, whatever. Like he dodged a jelly bean.
Like, you guys are fucking dweebs. What is
Yeah,
that?
not to bring back this whole Cake Island shit, but like that whole jelly bean like fiasco
Argument.
was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever experienced
Oh
in
man.
like, Whole Cake history.
Because that's
Like,
what, because
I'm
that's after that chapter. I think that's when I had said I don't want to hear anybody slander Katakuri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
chapter. that
Yeah,
said that.
exactly. No, yeah. Oh yeah. you're
Yeah,
right,
that
dude.
was
I
it.
remember
Because people were
saying,
saying, yeah, Katakuri was trash because he missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite chapters because everyone after the chapter was like Sanji versus Katakuri. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. I saw you highlighted. I saw you highlighted that in your recent video,
People
Drizzt.
wasn't believing it, too. But I think even more credit to the anime now is like I actually never thought Luffy was really using. I didn't think he was actually using the future sight the same way as Katakuri, but this anime is making it look like this boy is out here seeing it.
Well, they're saying the anime is better because the animators, they're from Dragon Ball Super. They have more resources for One Piece. I don't fucking know.
Probably because they care more than Oda does.
I don't know, but I guess when Super comes back, the anime is gonna be trash again. I don't know, man. I know Yonko dropped his.
Super comes back. I thought Super was over.
No, it's not over. It's no,
They were saying it might come back after.
bro.
Grogu.
There's absolutely no way that Super does not come back. Super was doing better than One Piece some
Super was
weeks.
shutting down Crunchyroll every week.
It was way too popular for them not to continue Dragon Ball. Way too popular. So I think Super definitely comes back. I think it went away for the movie, personally. But I think it definitely comes back. But I don't know. The anime, from what I've seen in Whole Cake Island, it's been glorious. So if you haven't watched the anime, go watch the anime.
Yeah, just wait till you get to that kind. I really want you to experience that kind of curry shit. There's all the.
I may
Katakuri
live
stuff,
react to
though.
it actually. I may live react to
All
it
of
when we get to there. Because people, yo, remember we did a live reaction to the opening.
Yeah,
A lot of people were like, wait, y'all didn't react to the episode?
that episode was so hype.
I mean, but my thing is, like-
crazy. I was this hype, and I know what already happens. Like I read the manga, but
Yeah.
the episode after I watched it, I just felt like, oh my god, this shit is so
It was
crazy.
riveting.
It was.
You know what's kind of gotten me, like, I don't know, watching anime, making me want to watch anime again. Attack on Titan anime.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
a whole nother story.
I haven't watched-
they blowing it out the park. Man.
Wow.
They're really doing a good job.
They're doing.
And I
a
read the manga too.
Bro. I read that arc, and the anime was way better than the manga for that.
But they
arc.
said that the creator actually worked with the anime to
Make it
like,
better.
show scenes in this. Yes, to show scenes in a certain way to make it more easy to understand and more fluid.
It was a lot more
certain things happen
confusing in that
different.
manga. A lot more confusing. Like they
A lot of people said that.
yo, Erwin is a fantastic character.
Yeah, he's really pretty. He's really good.
Commander Erwin is fucking phenomenal. Like that dude is amazing. But yeah, Attack on Titan anime has been great. I did not expect much from this arc because of how it was in the manga, but the anime has definitely blown it out the park. So that's been great, and I'm gonna give Black Clover another try.
Black Clover has also been pretty good too. I've been enjoying it.
I'm gonna give it another
at the beginning,
try.
I was like bashing Black Clover, but
Yeah,
the anime I like the anime. Like, I like it. It's just a cool. I like the
haven't read
characters.
or watched it.
I watched 2 more episodes, and they weren't as bad as the beginning. I was like, okay, because they gave more backstory to Yuno, and they were showing the Wizard King and him kind of spying on everyone, just to see.
Oh, so you're there. I know where you are.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And I was like,
It gets way better.
I like this isn't that bad. Like the first few episodes was just fucking atrocious. That was just.
I never really
bad.
understood why people got so into Attack on Titan. I never really liked that much. I mean, I guess I understood kind of because the animation quality is just so amazing.
It was the
It was
lore
simple,
of the mystery.
right? It was simple. It was like
For me, it was like the mystery though of figure out what was Eren. What I mean, of course, I know all these things now, but what is Eren? What are the Titans? Where do they come from? Like, what's happening?
I told you,
all of that was like,
yeah. I don't know if I've told you guys I spoiled myself, right? Because
oh wow.
on Attack on Titan, the first couple episodes, you don't know that Eren is a Titan, right?
Yeah, you don't.
So, in my mind, like I started liking Eren so much after he got eaten. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So then I go and I Google who is the main character now.
Oh,
I was like, "Who's the main character now?"
Made me pay for Crunchyroll. I remember, like, I didn't even have a subscription, but when I saw him die, the next episode was there, but I couldn't watch it. I was like, I'm buying this.
I was like, who's the main character now? And it's like Eren is the main character, and he transforms into the Titan. I was like, holy shit, no! Fuck.
Oh, that feels bad, man.
Oh man! Then I was like, holy shit, he transformed into the fucking Titan. I should have just waited. I should have been patient.
The anime does a good job because they let it fester.
Wait, you're talking about the first season, right?
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I think they do 2 or 3 episodes after he gets eaten, and I was just looking. I was watching like, wow, they actually just off this dude.
Yeah, I was like, I like this dude, man. Like, what the fuck? And
then, I remember watching that too. That was so hype. I was like, oh my god, what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was like, God damn it! I should have just waited a few.
Like once you saw him lose his arm, I was like, oh shit! They taking the arm of the main, and then
yeah,
couldn't believe it.
I was like, who's the main character now? And just think it's like, yo, Eren.
Oh yeah, and then when Eren popped out of the back neck of that Titan, I was like, oh shit!
I was like, I mean, after that, I was like, I'm totally a fan of Attack on Titan. I think that year, Attack on Titan beat One Piece at the beginning of the year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Came out.
I don't know. A lot of people made like the ending of One Piece and all that shit that year because of how great Attack on Titan did. But I think One Piece.
That shit really fell off though, huh?
No,
it's because of the anime. They waited.
The anime,
what they did was do a whole bunch of
Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. They made Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, which was basically just like Attack on Titan, weirdly enough, but just not nearly as good. And the ending was trash.
Well, also Attack on Titan died off because once the anime hit gold, the author admitted like
he extended the story.
He extended. Yeah, he's like, I was just gonna have everyone die.
Yeah.
And then it got popular, so now I gotta think about my.
It's like he struck gold, planning on like selling everything, and it's like wait. I can like extend this shit and make more money off of it.
Yeah,
we're gonna
like that's what happened basically.
I mean, it makes sense business wise. I understand.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it's like the quality definitely.
For sure.
It
plateaued
because you could tell like the political arc was just like all over the place. We just like throwing shit together. But now,
but where they are right now in the manga is really.
I heard it's really good.
Like,
I heard it's really good.
Yeah, they really are tying things.
And now,
like,
how the anime is doing things, I don't like because for a while I didn't like reading manga past anime just because I was like, this is just spoilers, right? It's just me just spoiling myself for like the anime coming out. And if I enjoyed an anime a lot, I'm like, I don't want to spoil myself, so I didn't read the manga. Only time I kind of went against that was Magi because I enjoyed Magi so much. I had to know what was going to happen next, so I read some more of Magi. Eventually, I dropped it because it just got. Whoa!
I also dropped it.
It got like.
Yeah, I heard a lot of
it. It had an arc about like basically it gave you an arc in which it focused on like let's say it focused on Roger, right? But it was just like so out there. It was what? Okay, but it's like, but Magi, I love the fucking anime. I love some of the characters in Magi, like Morgiana. Fucking love her.
Yeah, Morgiana.
Love her.
Great.
Sinbad is a fucking beast. For what he is, but yeah.
Yo, how many
She's dope.
chapters of Tower of God do you think I have to read before it gets like really good?
A Black Manga Critic made a video after 10 chapters, so give it 10. After 10 chapters, he made a Twitter video.
I'm
He's
on
like,
the third
yo.
chapter for that too.
Yeah, he's like, yo, Tower of God, that's it. You know, I know Drizzt loves it, so you know.
Yeah, second season of Tower of Gods on my top 5 arcs of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, people are saying that it's really good. So I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance
I'll
for
give
sure.
it
So
15 chapters.
Froob is such a fucking weep. But anyway, appreciate you guys coming through. Chapter next week.
Thank God.
I don't know. Is anything else happening? Anything else going on in the community?
No, I don't think there's anything happening in the community that I can think of.
Yeah.
Just the Viber cards, and that's about it, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Outside of, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Like the stream, subscribe, like the video, subscribe.
Oh wait, didn't something happen with Taekwon in New York?
Yeah, we tried to meet up with him, but he didn't want to meet up with us. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, like the video, subscribe. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.